We also found that that there were some institutions that we expected that would do better than they did, in the rankings, and that's a bit discouraging, particularly, if you're an enforcement agency or a regulator, it's always good to lead by example pretty much, and so those are some of the things that we're expecting from some of the institutions. But we had people try to also explain some of the things that they thought was the reason why they were not disclosing, and it had to do with some of the things, with, I think, the kind of, they said things around capacity building, the fact that maybe, the people were not aware of the law, or the letters, got lost in transit, those kinds of things. And it's good to know these things so that the public service takes steps to addressing it, so that it's good to collect these findings, so that it takes steps to making sure people can actually access information as the law requires them to. We don't do it as a standalone thing. It's only, as I said, it's an intermediary output. It's something that it's on our way to making sure we can actually track the performance of projects, that we use, that we now, because we have to ask for information anyway. And so what we do is that we make FOI requests by law, because first of all, we check on the websites. If we see the information on the websites, then we don't need to make a request. And then, where if we don't see it, then we make a request. And sometimes we have to make several requests. We make 1, 2, 3, 4 requests sometimes, but we do it statutorily. So we don't go and say, we're going to conduct a ranking, and so because we're conducting a ranking, we want your information. What we do is that we make a request. We say, by virtue of the Freedom of Information Act, we kindly request that you provide us with details of this, and then we list the things we want. Capital projects for 2016, procurement plans for 2016 or 2017, details of this, including the contract name, contract amount, contract person, the contractor to whom it was awarded, milestones, the status of the project. We break it down in that way. And so we never say, we don't announce that we're doing this. It's not like, hey, we're going to do a ranking on the 28th of September, so provide us with this information. Why we started doing the rankings is because it was difficult for us to get access to this information. That meant it was difficult for us to follow up on public projects, public contracts, several of which are constituency projects. And so what we've been able to do with the rankings is that we've been able to take them and link the various stages in the procurement process together. So we've linked the budget estimates to contract amounts, because budget estimates and contract amounts actually differ. We use that to go and check and say, okay, this primary healthcare center, who has it been awarded to and for how much, and to what end, what is it supposed to provide? And then we go to see whether those things actually, are on ground. And so that's really the end goal of all of this. So we put all the information we get based on these FOI requests that we make on a platform called Budeshi. Budeshi is open it in Hausa, and what actually brought about this is because we were trying to advocate to the government, and that was successful because they needed to start linking expenditure-related information together, linking budget and procurement data together, so that people can follow the process from conception up until the end.
Since 1999, about 1 trillion naira has gone into the implementation of constituency projects across the country. Tracka Plus seeks to create awareness on these projects around the country by tracking their implementation and engaging the relevant stakeholders. Still on promoting transparency and accountability in the execution of public projects, we have some good news. The ambulances in Surulere 1 federal constituency that were initially tagged as donations have been corrected. Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila has done the needful, and we thank him for that. Going forward, we hope that we can work together to ensure that constituency projects meant for the public good are tagged correctly. Now, let's take a look at some constituency projects for 2017 in select states across the country. Grab a pen and paper, write them down so you can also track their implementation with your elected representatives in the National Assembly. Watch this.
Here are the constituency projects in Cross River State for 2017. Akankpa Town Internal Roads Akankpa, the agency, the Cross River Basin Development Agency, under the Ministry of Water Resources, and the amount 100 million naira. The purchase of 406 motorcycles for youth of Obubra Etong Federal Constituency. The agency Smeden, under the Ministry of Trade and Investment, the amount 125 million naira, location unknown. Completion of ongoing projects at the National Youth Development Center, Agbokim, Waterfalls at Etung Local Government Area. The agency, Youth, under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the amount 120 million naira. Purchase of 175 motorcycles for empowerment in Boki, Ekom Federal Constituency. The agency, Border Communities Development Authority, BCDA, under the Office of the Secretary General to the Federation, the amount 37 million naira. Location unknown. Here are the constituency projects in Delta State for 2017. The supply of 2 18-seater Toyota buses, 30 tricycles, and 35 motorcycles to Okwe, Sapele Ovie constituency. The agency Smeden, under the Ministry of Trade and Investment, the amount 45 million naira, location unspecified. Medical mission to Isoko South Local Government Area, agency Federal Medical Center Asaba, under the Ministry of Health, amount 100 million naira. Construction of comprehensive healthcare centers at Ekpota in Udu Local Government Area and Ovo in Ogeli North, South Udu Federal Constituency. Agency National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, under the Ministry of Health, amount 50 million naira. Here are the constituency projects in Ebonyi State for 2017. Provision of farming and land preparation equipment for extension support to farmers in Old Ohazara. Agency Federal College of Land Resources, Owerri. The Ministry of Agriculture, and the amount 48 million naira. The provision of empowerment material to unemployed youth and women in Ohazara, Onitsha, Ivo Federal Constituency. Agency Rubber Research Institute, Benin, under the Ministry of Agriculture, amount 80 million naira. The supply of selected customized textbooks to schools in Ebonyi South Senatorial District, under the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, amount 200 million naira. Provision of Vinikiri FM Water Supply Solar Borehole Project in Ohaku Local Government Area. Agency National Center for Energy Research and Development, Unsuka, under the Ministry of Science and Technology, amount 10 million naira.
You can also get across to us and we'll send you a copy of the constituency projects in your state so you can track them as well. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we go tracking for constituency projects in southern Nigeria. Please stay with us.